I have a problem. I have way too many business owners reaching out to me asking me for sales reps, and I don't have enough. Every single rep that I've ever worked with has gotten placed in an offer and has a job. So I need more sales reps. That's why I'm dropping this training so you can learn exactly what I did to make $40,000 a month in high ticket sales for free so you can get trained up, know what questions already asked, that we can place you on an offer. So watch this training, take notes, drop questions in the comments if you have any questions. And when you feel like you know enough, hit the link in my description. We're going to hop on a call. We're going to see if it's a good fit. And we're going to get you placed ASAP. And then we're going to give you tailored and specific training towards the offer that we get you landed on. Alrighty, what's up, guys? So in this training, we're going to be going over the framework again, especially in discovery, how to find out the surface level problem, how to get the deep rooted pain points from that, how to chunk down, ask better questions, have an efficient discovery, pre-handle objections, how to transition into goals and into a pitch, and start handling your first objections. So this one is going to be a little bit longer, probably about an hour long, I'm assuming, from me making this. So just be ready to strap in and take some notes. All right. So in the beginning of a closer call, so I just want to let you guys know, this is the exact framework and a lot of the same verbiage and same questions that I've used to make $40,000 a month as a remote closer. If you guys study these questions and study these examples in this framework, you are almost guaranteed to close more deals. I can't say it's guaranteed because it'd be impossible for me to do that, but it would definitely help you out. So first, in the beginning of the call, we always want to start with a little bit of rapport, and I think a lot of sales reps mess up with this because they are over-friendly or they're trying to become someone's friend, and you have to realize that the person is on the call because they want help. They're not here to get a new friend. They want to know that you're really going to help them with their situation. So you want to take like an authority frame. You want to take a professional frame. Yes, friendly, but not overly friendly. So what we're going to say is, hey, what's up, Joey? How you doing today, man? I'm doing great. How are you? I'm doing good, man. I was just swimming in the pool, right? Quick personal line. Or I was just cooking some eggs. Or I was just chilling at the beach for a little bit. Nice, man. Cool. Well, you ready to dive right into the meeting? So if they're like a little bit rushed or skeptical, it seems like, you want to say, is now still a good time? If they're laying in bed or something like that, you want to say, hey, man, I see that you're like laying in bed. Do you mind just like sitting up, putting your computer on like a desk or something and getting a pen and paper out so that we can take some notes? Because we're going to be going over a lot in this meeting. We just want your undivided attention. If they're driving, you can say, hey, are you driving right now? Yeah, I am, but I'm going to be pulling over in like the next 20 minutes. Okay, I got you, man. You can say, okay, I got you. Well, we really want your undivided attention, so we're going to have to get you rescheduled for a better time. That way we make sure you're in a quiet space, no distractions, ready to take notes. You want someone to be you want to almost compliance check them. Are they going to be compliant? Are they going to follow your lead, or are they just going to do whatever they want? Because if they just want to do whatever they want, they're probably not going to be a good fit for the program. If someone's going to come in a program and just think they can do whatever they want, it's not going to be a good fit. So we want to make sure people are showing up in a quiet space, no distractions, ready to take notes. And you can also talk with your setter about this as well to make sure they show up properly. But yeah, you want to dive right into it? Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Beautiful. Well, I'm here to help you out, Joey, as much as I possibly can. So how this meeting's going to go, man, I'm just going to dive into the specifics of like your current situation, where you're at right now, what your overall goals are, again, where you're trying to get to. If I feel like we can help you out, man, I'd be happy to go over what the investment looks like to get started. Does this sound good? Yep, sounds good. Awesome. So for you, man, like what would you say is just like your biggest challenge? Just trying to like grow right now. Like what do you feel like you need the most help with? And the reason why I want to say like the biggest challenge and add some implied thoughtfulness to it is because when you ask someone, so like, what's your biggest challenge right now? It almost seems like it's demeaning, and we don't want to do that. We don't want to turn the prospect off. I've heard a lot of sales reps say, you don't want to say the biggest challenge specifically if they've done Jeremy Miner's training. Everybody who's done Jeremy Miner's training say, don't ask the biggest challenge, but everyone who does Cole Gordon's training does the biggest challenge. I've done a little bit of both. I prefer the biggest challenge because most people come problem aware, and if you ask it correctly, most of Jeremy Miner's people are not trained to ask the biggest challenge. They're not going to execute it properly. They're not going to add that implied thoughtfulness and pace it and slow it down, and then ask that second question for softening. they're not really going to do it that well. So here's how I do it again. So for you, man, like, what would you say is just like, I don't know, your biggest challenge? Like, what do you feel like you need the most help with right now? And it's really soft. It's implied thoughtfulness, and they're usually going to give you the problem. I've probably had like 3 or 4 people out of the thousands of sales calls that I've taken where someone doesn't give me their surface level problem. And the reason why we're asking for this biggest challenge is because you want to get the surface level problem. What are they on the call for? And if they've been through a DM setting conversation or a triage phone setting conversation, they should be problem aware on the closer call. If not, then you have a DM or a triage problem that they need to fix. So the discovery framework. At first, we're going to get the surface level problem from the biggest challenge, and then we're going to probe their current situation and get as much context and data as possible. And then we're going to get deep-rooted pain points that are associated with their current situation and the surface level problem. This is to anchor in that they actually need to make a change. Because when you put someone in pain, or you show them the mirror, is what people call it, it's like if you break a leg and it doesn't hurt that bad, you're probably not going to go to the hospital, right? If you don't think that it's really that serious. But if you break a leg and your foot's backwards and it hurts like a hell, you're going to want to go to the hospital and get it fixed, right? So we want to put these people into pain, not to, do them any harm by any means. It's just to show them the mirror, to help them understand that this is their situation. These are the things they've been avoiding. This is what you're going through right now, and you need to fix it. But getting them to sell us and why they need to fix it. So we're doing a little bit of reverse selling. So once we get the deep-rooted pain points, we're going to get their intent, right? Do they actually want to fix it? Doubt of why they can't fix it by themselves. We want to get the core problem, why haven't they fixed it? We want to pre-handle their objections, gain commitment to overcome their core problem and the reason why they haven't bought anything before. Transition to the goals to create the gap. Expand their goals even more to create an even bigger gap. Want to ask, why now? Do you actually want to fix it? What did you see from us that made you feel like we can help you out? And then pre-handle some support questions. So here's how we go about it. So the surface level problem. So what would you say is like the biggest challenge? Like what do you feel like you need the most help with right now? I need help, getting into sales. I want to be able to quit my 9 to 5. Okay, I got you. Tell me a little bit more. Like, what do you do for work full time? Yeah, I work construction. I work 50 hours a week. Okay. And do you like that? Yeah, I do like it. Nice. Okay. What do you like about it? I like that it's cash. I like that I have steady work every single week. I like being out in the sun. Right? Okay. Nice. What else do you like about it? This, that. Nice, man. So how long have you been doing that for? I've been doing that for the past 6 years. Okay, I got you. And just curious, like, what don't you like about it? This is going to be able to put the person into pain or find out or reveal some more pain points. So what don't you like about it? I don't like that, I have to work for a boss that fucking doesn't care about me. I don't like that I have to drive an hour to work every single day and I don't get paid for that commute. I have to show up to the yard, but I don't get paid for the drive with the team, but I don't get paid for that. I only get paid for the actual working time. I only get paid if I drove. That's how my construction job used to work. I used to hate that shit. And what's the worst part about that? I feel like I'm just wasting money. I have to wake up extra early. And I feel like I just don't get really any respect. Gotcha. So what else don't you like about it? What else? Okay. So take me back to the exact moment when you realized like something had to change. And the reason why we say exact moment is because when you bring the exact moment, you make them relive that moment. You make them relive the painful situation. Like for me, when I was a barber and I didn't know how to scale up my business, the closer asked me, what was that exact moment when you realized something had to change? And I used to drive 2.5 hours, 3 hours back up to school every single week, during the pandemic because I didn't know how to build up my clientele. And the only way I could make more money while being able to afford my own apartment after I was just homeless for 4 years was to drive back up there and cut some hair in my friend's dorm. I would drive up there on Wednesday mornings at 5 a.m. I would get there at 8 a.m., cut heads, 20 heads a day from Wednesday to Friday, so 60 heads in 3 days, which is a lot. And then Friday night, after I'm done,
I would drive back home 3 hours. And I remember driving back home on a Friday night one time. I was super exhausted. I was like falling asleep behind the wheel. And I had to pull over because I felt like I was gonna crash my car. And so I fell asleep in the parking lot where I pulled over, and I woke up from a nightmare, and I was in my driver's seat, obviously. So I woke up from the nightmare, and I got up and I grabbed my wheel and I started turning it, and I was like, I felt when I was sleeping, I thought I was still driving my car, and I thought I was about to get into a car accident. So I got up and I'm like, and I'm grabbing the thing, and I'm like, man, I can't keep doing this anymore. And that's the exact moment I realized something needs to change. I can't keep exhausting myself like this, putting my life at risk essentially. So I realized that something had to change. So when the closer asked me that, it made me relive the moment and helped me realize man, I can't keep doing this. I have to make a change. So take me back to the exact moment when you realized something had to change. And what happened exactly? And how long has it been? How long ago was that? And how old are you, if you don't mind me asking? And you have a family, you live by yourself, you have a wife and kids. So let's say, again, this guy's trying to quit his construction job. Let's say he's 32 years old, he's still living at home with his parents because he wants to save money, he has a kid on the way. Let's say him and his girlfriend just broke up, but he has a kid on the way, and he's working a job he doesn't like. He doesn't like it because he's not making the money that he wants to make. Again, he doesn't like the boss, whatever it is. So we can say something like this. Now that we have all the context of the current situation and the data, right? We have how much money he's making, how long he's been doing that for. We have his age, right? Stuff like that, right? We want to get as much context and data. We basically just want to understand, who are you? Who is the person that you're actually talking to? Because if you can just understand that, you can understand where to go from there. Now, in biz ops, so this would be a business opportunity, getting somebody into sales, right? Where you can help someone make more money, work less. So the pain points are usually going to be associated with finances and time. If it's to help men lose weight, right? There's going to be an identity pain and maybe a time pain, or it might be an identity pain and then an emotional pain, right? So they're not the man that they want to be, and it's causing them to be depressed. So these kind of things, right? So just understand if you're in a business opportunity offer, you're going to be selling more you're going to be talking about more financial pain and time pain. With a fitness offer, you're going to be talking more about identity pain and emotional pain, and even some physical pain possibly. So for you, just so more clear. So again, now that we have all the context, we can understand, and we understand who the person is. We just want to do a big recap because, again, asking questions for context and data, it's almost like boxing. We're just checking the person, seeing where they're at, and setting up for a big right hook to the jaw. Because you're saying their whole situation back to them in a way where it almost sounds like it sucks. And again, I'm not doing this to hurt the person. I'm doing this genuinely to help the person out and help him understand that he could be doing so much better. And he wouldn't be on this call if he didn't think he could do so much better. And there's a reason why he's not doing so much better right now. It's because he hasn't actually found a solution for it. So I want to show him the mirror. So I'm going for the right hook right here. I'm going to say, so just some more clear, Matt. So you're 32 years old. You're still living at home with your parents. You just broke up with your girlfriend. You have a kid on the way. You're working on a job that you don't like. And you don't like it because you're not making the money that you want to make. You don't like your boss. I mean, this may seem like a dumb question, but I mean, is this where you want to be at? No, definitely not. Okay. Now, I know why I wouldn't want to be there, but why not for you? And we want them to get us to sell them and why they need to make a change. Push back because they haven't changed their situation, like I said. We always want to look for some sort of release of control. So we want to hear something like, man, it just sucks, right? We want to hear that release, that's when you know you hit a really good pain point. And when you hear that, that's when you go deeper. So let's say this person, he wants to get into sales, he wants to be able to work remote, make way more money, not have to work outside, spend more time with this kid on the way, whatever it is. So, man, I just feel like I don't have the freedom and I feel like I'm just not getting respected. Okay, so can you tell me a little bit more about you being respected? What does that actually mean to you? What was the exact moment you realized that you feel like you weren't getting respected? We want to stretch the pain. We want to elongate the pain and turn it into a deep-rooted pain. So how long has this been going on for, man, where you're feeling like you're not respected? And then you said, like, you're still in a home with your family. I mean, you're 32 years old, man. Like, what is this like for you financially? I mean, are you just blowing all your money at the bar on the weekends, or are you saving your money? Like, what are you doing? Why do you still have a home with your parents? You know, because just things are getting expensive. I only make $20 an hour, and you know, after like my car, because I got a brand new car, you know, people do dumb shit where they buy things they can't afford. You know, I'm only able to save a couple $1,000s a month, and if I had my own spot, you know, I'd be living check to check, and I don't want to do that. So, man, like, how do you feel like this is like affecting you personally, man? Like being super tight financially, or you can't even provide for yourself. I mean, what is this like for you as a man, not being able to provide for yourself? How long have you been feeling that for? How do you think this affects like the way that you show up with, like, when you get home at night, you talk to your family? How do you feel like this is going to affect you when your kid is born and you show up super exhausted all the time, or just hating your life because you never made a change? How do you think that affected like your relationship with your girl before you guys split up? You know, just being exhausted, not liking what you were doing. So how does being tight financially affect you? I know for me, man, if I was living on my parents, I'd be fucking pissed. So what would you even do if your parents weren't there? Right? Questions like this. Oh man, it sucks. Yada yada yada. You're gonna get questions. You're gonna get answers like that. So let me ask you, like, so in the past 5 years, man, since you've been working this job, like, what have you tried to do to actually fix this? And you see that the way that I'm speaking, almost speaking to him like he's like my brother or my best friend, and I'm genuinely concerned for him, and I'm curious as well. So it's like, man, like, when did you realize something had to change, or what have you tried to do to actually fix this, man? What else have you tried? And like, have you tried getting professional help with this, or? Okay. No? Gotcha. Why not? Okay. No? Okay, no worries. Well, just curious, man. Like, why do you feel like you even need help with this? Like, getting out of your job in the first place? Like, do you feel like you just, like, don't really know where else to go or what to do? Or do you feel like you're just winging it? Yeah. Okay. So, what do you feel like has really held you back from getting some professional help, man? Like, you said you want to get into sales. You realized you wanted to get into sales for the past few months. Like, why run your life like this, not being able to provide for yourself or your family, instead of just getting professional help? Now, this is where this is where the core problem and the pre-handling starts, because we're just figuring out, now that this person, we have the surface level problem. He wants to be able to quit his job. And then he has deep-rooted pain points around him quitting his job. He's not able to provide for his family. He's tight financially, whatever it is, right? The deep-rooted pain points. Now we want to figure out, why hasn't this guy actually fixed it? He knows he's in a bad spot, or not the best spot. He knows he could do better. If he didn't, he wouldn't be on the call. So why is he not making more money? Why is he not doing something different? Why is he still in the same situation? That's the core problem. Is, again, everybody knows that something needs to change. Everybody knows that there's things they need to do, but they don't do it for whatever reason. It could be because of fear of failure. It could be because of money. It could be because of procrastination. It could be because of comfort. It could be because of lack of goals or lack of inspiration, limiting beliefs, right? All these things. The core problem is all of those things. It's the reason why this person hasn't actually fixed anything. And when I say we're going to pre-handle this, is we're going to get into commit to the reason why they haven't actually invested in themselves and gotten help. That way they can actually fix the issue. Because if they just did invest in themselves and they did just get the help that they need, then none of this stuff would be an issue. Again, if this guy invested into sales training where he was making $15,000, $20,000 a month, where he didn't have to work a job and hate his boss, he worked for himself and set his own hours, be able to live wherever he wants in the world, and he wouldn't be, none of this stuff would be an issue for him, right? So it's like, something has held this guy back. And if we can get him around that wall of thinking, around that blockage, man, that's been holding him back, he's going to get to where he wants to go as long as he does the work. And he's going to get a really good result, especially if the sales training is good. So we want to ask, man, like, what do you feel like has really held you back from getting some help? Ah, man, it's just the money, all these programs that charge like 5, 6, 7, 8, 10K. And I just don't know if I have the money for that, man. Like, I don't want to spend my money on something that's going to not help me, right? I could say, let's just say it's a money objection, right? Pre-handling the money objection. So it's like, if you didn't handle this here, and then you told them the program was 10K, it's like, that's the money he would give you that objection, right? He would say, I don't know. It's just going to be too much money. I'm not going to be able to do that. I'll just have to get back to you guys later. So instead of not getting that objection, we can pre-handle it here. That way we can get an objectionless close because we just figured out the reason why he hasn't bought. So we can say, it's the money. I just want to spend 10K on a program that's not going to help me. Yeah, I mean, I totally hear you, man. I think that's what holds most people back. Would you agree? So getting them to agree. And how do you feel like that kind of holds you back, though, of just like not getting any professional help? It's keeping me in the same spot. So, I mean, would you agree that there's people out there in the same situation as you who find a way to make it happen, though, even though it's like scary and sometimes can be like a lot of money? Yeah, absolutely. Right. 100%, right? There's two types of people. The people who make it happen and people who don't. The people who don't, they let this be an issue when there's a way to make it happen. And the people who do commit to doing whatever it takes to overcome that. Like, what do you feel like you would need to do if you actually wanted to get some real professional help? That way you can quit this job, make more money than you've ever made in your life, and, not have to worry about this stuff. Be able to provide for yourself and for your family. I would probably need to do it. Yeah, totally get that, man. Now, let me ask you this on a scale of 1 to 10. How committed are you? Because it's a lot easier to say it than to actually do it, right? So how committed are you? Okay, I'm a 10. Okay, why are you a 10? Sure. So can I ask you, man, like I said, because it is a lot easier to say it than to actually do it, like, what happens if 6 months from now you're still in the same spot that you are right now, the baby's here, and you're still not making the money, you can't take even more risk because the baby's here, and you look back at this moment, you told yourself you were going to do it, but you just didn't because you were scared. Like, what would that be like for you? What do you think you'd be throwing out? How do you think that would hold back your kid's future? So are you willing to settle for that? Why not? So getting them to sell you and why they need to make a change. Get them to commit to overcoming the exact reason that's held them back, because if they don't, they already know the consequence. So, yeah, I'm 100% committed, man. Okay, awesome. So if we're going to be able to help you out, like, where do you want to be at in income per month, man? I want to be at 10K a month. Okay, and what would change for you personally? What would that allow you to do? Does that really matter to you? Absolutely. Okay, now is that your first goal or is that your ultimate goal? Want to expand the goals? Because, again, the current situation is Hell Island. So the current situation is Hell Island. The desired situation is Heaven Island. It's where they want to be at. So where a sale is made is the commitment to crossing the bridge to get there. And your program is the bridge. It's the solution to get them off Hell Island and into Heaven Island. So is that your first goal or is that your ultimate goal? Let's just say we can get your first goal faster than you thought. Would you push for more and just stay there? These are goal expansion questions to help someone think a little bit bigger. So what would be like your next goal? And what do you think would change for you and your family there? Like, instead of making 10K a month, making 20K a month. What would you do to celebrate? That's always a really great question because it gets them to envision and live their actual goal. So what do you think your family would think if you're able to do that, man? Dude, what would your wife think? Or what would your girlfriend think? What would your ex think? How do you think your kid's life would change? What would your parents think? What about your kid's future? How many opportunities do you think would open up? How important is it for you to actually be able to get there? In goal expansion and goals, we want to be hyped up a little bit, right? We're already like a little bit low. We want to hype this guy up. Like, dude, it's like, what would fucking change for you, man? Dude, that'd be fucking awesome. You don't got to curse. You say, that'd be fantastic. Dude, what would you do to celebrate? That's beautiful, man. I really want to see you get there. And how important is it for you to actually be able to get there? Dude, it's 100%. Super important. Okay, awesome. So just curious, do you feel like you're on track to get there in the next 6 months? Or do you feel like something has to change with the way you're doing things right now? Something definitely has to change. Okay. So why now? I know you said earlier you were committed, but seriously, like, why now make a change instead of just continue to look at stuff like this and for months and months and months to come on end and you just never actually get the help? Like I said before, man, I'm staying in the same spot. But what would that mean for you personally? Staying in the same spot. It's not going to be good. I'm not going to be able to provide, whatever it is. Cool. Awesome. So just curious, man, what did you see from us, man, that made you feel like we can help you out? What was it exactly? Was it testimonials? Was it a referral? Did you see our content and it really struck you? What did you see, man? Okay. Now, are you married? Do you have a partner? I know your girl kind of broke up with you, whatever it is, all good. Do they know that you're about to transition into this other job, or do they know you're trying to do this? Are they supportive of that? Do they know you're on this call right now? How do you think they would feel? How do you think they would think about this? Now, let me ask you, them aside, whose responsibility is it to actually get the help that they need to fix these issues? It's mine. Are you sure? Yes. Because we want to put the responsibility on the prospect. A lot of people, especially if they have a spouse or a partner, they'll try to say, yeah, I'm always going to talk to my partner about this kind of stuff, though. That's totally fair. But let me ask you this. Whose responsibility is it to actually get the help? Is it you or your partner? It's mine. Okay, why is that? Are they going to come on the calls and come in here and do the work, or is it going to be your job to do that? Okay. So because it's going to be you, whose responsibility is it to actually push the thing forward and commit to doing whatever it takes? Is it you or your wife's, or is it you or your girlfriend's? It's mine. Gotcha. Are you sure? Yep. Awesome. That's how we're going to pre-handle spouse a little bit. And then we want to transition. So we had the whole discovery, right? We got the surface level problem. They want to quit their 9 to 5. They got pain points associated with that. They're not making the money they want to make. They're not feeling respected. They have a kid on the way. They want to be able to make more money. They're not able to provide for themselves or their family, whatever it is. They have intent they really want to do. It's important to them. They have doubt. They feel like they can't do it by themselves. We found out the core problem that's really held them back is that, again, it's just fear of investing into money. So we pre-handled the money objection. We gained their commitment to overcome that. We expanded their goals, got them excited, actually helped them envision their goals, helped them live the moment a little bit. We asked them why now, why us, to pre-handle all objections. So we shouldn't get any timing objection. We shouldn't get any money objection besides logistics, potentially. We shouldn't get any spouse objection. We shouldn't get any think about it objection. This person should close with, this person should PIF if they have the money or do a payment plan and close because we pre-handled all their objections and found the main reason why they haven't bought before. Now we can transition into the pitch. I feel like, so what we can say here is once we get the goals, okay, I got you, man. Once we get the why now, why us, the support question, we can say, so I feel like we pretty much covered everything, but do you feel like there's anything we didn't cover that I should know about? Especially, if we're going to be able to help you out over the next few months, like maybe like you procrastinate a lot, maybe you get discouraged easily, like anything like that. Like you talk about want to do all these things, but you never actually follow through. And this is to kill off any last objections that we might have left out on the table and to hold them accountable. Because if someone says, I want to think about it, but they just told you 20 minutes ago that they procrastinate a lot, I'm going to hold them accountable in the close and call them out on their bullshit and say, well, dude, if I let you think about it, I'd be letting you do the same thing you've done for the past 5 years. Just know something has to change, but just procrastinate. Would you want us to hold you accountable, or would you want me to let you slip and slide and do whatever you want because that's what's most comfortable for you? Because where has that really gotten you procrastinating, not doing anything about it? Exactly. So based on you told me, I think that we can definitely help you out. And this is exactly how we helped out Brian do the same exact thing. He was working construction. He got into sales, works remote. Now he makes $20,000 a month. He makes more than double what he was making before. And he has a fully free life, man. He has location freedom, time freedom, and money freedom. So for you, man, I'm going to walk you through exactly how I can help you out. Does that sound good? Yep. Awesome. And you still have that pen and paper out, ready to take some notes? Yep. Cool. Get your pen and paper out. Let's do it. And then so we're going to pitch. Now, honestly, The pitch is the least important thing. Pitch, it's super quick, it's straight to the point. We want to sell the benefits of how we're going to help them out. So everything that we do, it's completely customized towards you and every single individual that we work with. For you, there's a few things we need to focus on. Write this down, right? Step one. Step one, okay, advanced training. Now, one of the biggest problems that most sales reps have is that most sales reps never really land good offers because they've always done the super basic trainings. And because of this, most sales reps suck, leading to unhappy business owners constantly looking for new reps, high churn rate, making most reps replaceable. Once you get tailored training towards your specific offer and niche, you become irreplaceable and an asset for your team. Does that make sense? Yeah, that makes sense. Now, once you complete the advanced training, this should take anywhere from 20 to 45 days, depending on your effort level. Next, we'll talk about offer placement. Once you complete the advanced training, which will take anywhere from 20 to 45 days, depending on your effort level, putting the responsibility on the person, because if they don't take the responsibility, then nothing's going to change. So we'll start applying to exclusive offers that business owners literally pay the sales training companies for to get good reps on their team versus just taking someone who's doing a cold outreach through a DM. They do this because they know when they get solid reps in the advanced training, they don't have such a big turnover rate. Now, we can get you set up with really good offers, but it's going to be on you to come in here, meet us halfway, execute on all the interview prep, trainings, and interviews so you can actually get placed. At the end of the day, man, we can't force a business to take you on, so you got to be sharp. You got to meet us halfway. Does that make sense? Yep. Awesome. Now, step 3, you're going to write this down, relentless feedback and tracking. So once we get you on a super solid offer, we're going to give you relentless feedback and tracking so you know exactly what to improve and how to improve it. Most closers don't even track their objections, so even if they just do this one thing, understand exactly where they're messing up on and how to fix it, we can get you to become one of the top reps on their team and start increasing their closing percentage. Most closers hit their first 10K month and completely let off the gas because they feel like they have everything figured out. So by being able to track your objection and help you understand exactly what you need to improve on, you're not going to let off the gas and you're going to bypass everyone else in their performance and become the top rep. Does that make sense? Yes. And what questions do you have on that specifically? Nothing. Everything makes sense. So here's how the training goes. This is called the deliverables. So what the prospect is actually going to get. So here's how the training works. There's 7 different topics that you're going to get walked through step by step. It's going to be self-paced for 4 months straight. You're going to get 2 weekly group coaching calls plus a certain amount of one-on-one coaching. This is the average result that we've had in the program. Most people get placed within the first 30 to 45 days, and they're usually closing anywhere from 5 to 10 deals in their first 2 weeks. You'll have access to community with all the sales reps that we work with privately. That way you have access to people who are really serious and investing in themselves and getting advanced training as well. Does that make sense? Cool. What questions do you have on that specifically? Now we're going to get into the committing phase. So we want to temp check and do a double tie down. Just curious, how do you feel about this process specifically? Does everything make sense for you? If it's a certain answer with certain tonality, move on. Again, if the person's like, yeah, man, this totally makes sense. I feel like this is exactly what I've been needing. Awesome. If the person's uncertain or they got quick or short answers, align them, right? Okay, so how do you feel about this? Everything sounds good. I want to ask, so what do you like about it specifically? What makes the most sense to you? Okay. And what worries or concerns do you actually have about you coming in here and doing this? And that we can answer any questions that they have before the price drop. We can help them understand exactly, again, what's missing so we can push the sale forward. So we can say, I hear you. We're all about alignment. And when you work with us, we're going to be in the trenches with you. And our team's all in. I want you to feel good about the process. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 1, it's like not really that confident. 10, it's fully locked in. You feel like this is exactly what you've been needing. Where do you feel like you land on that scale? And again, this is after we ask for the worries and concerns, so we can align them and then ask for the temp check. If a 9 or a 10 with certainty, you want to do the reverse sell. 9 out of 10, that's really good. Some people give me like a 4 or 5. For you, what makes you say like a 9 out of 10? Oh, I feel like this is really going to help me out. You answered all my questions. I feel like this is exactly what I've been needing. I know I've been like a little bit scared to invest, but I feel like I'm ready to go. Got you. Okay, great. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 1, you're going to come in here, you're going to BS, or 10, you're going to be or 10, you're going to give us your 100% effort every single day that we can actually teach you the skills you need so you can land an offer and make more money and quit your job. We're going to say you're on that scale as far as your commitment. I'm at a 10. So that's a double tie down. If the person's uncertain, if they say an 8 or below, I feel like really I'm at like a 6. Okay, a 6, sure. Honestly, most people that we end up working with usually give us like a 9 or a 10. And like I said before, we're all about alignment. So for you, what makes you say a 6? Hear them out? Okay, that's fair. And do you have any other worries or concerns? You want to handle that objection, re-clarify, and then re-temp check. So now that that's over, how do you feel now? Do you feel like there's anything that's holding you back from being like a 10? Like, I know you're saying a 10 now, but like, Joey, if you guys had this, it'd be a 10. And just flush out any last concerns or worries. Okay, are you sure? So there's nothing else that you would say is a 10. Awesome. So this is something you want to do 100%, and you're going to give us your 100% effort so we can actually help you, correct? Yep. Awesome. Then we're going to bridge the investment after we did a double tie down. They just told us they want to do it 100%, and they're going to be committed to give us their 100% effort. So the next steps in this call, what we're going to do is we're going to go over the investment. If it makes sense for you, we'll get you onboarded in the community and book your first call. Does that sound good? Sounds good. Awesome. So the investment for you to get to 20,000 hours a month, it's just $8,000. And then you stay quiet. And if they tell you, okay, sounds good, you assume the close, you get their email, you send the invoice over to whatever it is, whatever you need for the invoice, you can just send them a link. Just put the invoice in the chat. Go ahead and take care of that, and we'll get you set up. Great. Congratulations, sir. You just closed your first deal. If they give you an objection, here's how we handle that. So we always want to pace the first objection, and the reason is because the first objection is always going to be a smokescreen, and they just told you 30 seconds ago that they wanted to do it 100%, and they're going to be 100% committed. So the only thing that's changed is just the money. So we always pace the first objection and isolate the money. So let's say, dude, it's just 8K. 8K? Yep. I don't know if I can do that right now. Okay, that's not a problem. For you, just so more clear, the money aside, do you still feel like this is something you want to do 100%? Yes. Okay, and would you still come in here and give us your 100% effort? That way we can actually help you? Yes. Okay, so just curious, if the money wasn't an issue for you, why do you feel like this would be worth it for you personally? If they're certain, we go to step A. If they're uncertain, go to step B. So step A. So let's say if they give you a, yeah, man, I feel like this is really going to help me out. I really want to do it. It's just the money. You know, okay, but why do you think it's going to help you out personally? Because if I did this, man, I'd be able to take care of myself, be able to maybe get back with my ex, and I'd be able to do the things I want to do. Okay, I got you. So is it more we just don't have the money saved up right now, or you have the money saved up, but if you dropped it, it's just going to put you in a super tight spot? Just let me know so I can actually help you out. I'm generally here to help you. Again, if they're uncertain, no worries. Can I just get like a really honest answer from you? Because 30 seconds ago, you just told me you were 10 out of 10, and I really don't want you doing this if you really feel like we can help you. So just curious, what's really going on? Like, what do you feel like is really holding you back? I'm here to help you. Once you drop the price, you got to get on the same side as them as fast as possible. When you get on the same side as them, you're able to, it's not he say or she say, or it's not you against him. You guys are working together to a solution. So let's say if they say it's step A. Is there anything else besides the money, or is it just the money? It's just the money. Okay, no worries, man. And you can go and handle the money. And that is it for the entire closer training. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Post in the community and shoot me a DM as well.